For my people is speaking to Harlan Bivins. He is one of the founders of the Better Detroit Youth Movement. Better Detroit Youth Movement is just that. They're doing some positive things, and we welcome him to For My People today. Tell us a little bit about your organization and what you're doing.
Okay. The Better Detroit Youth Movement is a nonprofit organization, and we are here to better assist our city's children. So it's to truly improve the quality of life and learning for our city's children.
Now, I understand that you have something that's coming up.
Yes.
That's real significant. Could you tell us about it?
Yes, it's the Million Father March. And also, to Mr. Scott, I wanted to give the call to action. We're asking all of the male figures, fathers, grandfathers, godfathers, mentors, service providers, to reach us at the Better Detroit Youth Movement. Contact us, 313-516-8384.
One more time.
The number is 313-516-8384. So,
do you have an email address or a website?
Yes, it's betterdetroityouth.org. Again, the website is betterdetroityouth.org. And they can also email us at info@betterdetroityouth.org as well.
Okay, so now since we got all the housekeeping together,
okay,
tell us a little bit more about the Million Father March and some of the other programmatic activities in which you're involved.
Okay, well, the Million Father March is to actually get males involved on the very first day of school with the academic process with our city's children. So we're asking all of the service providers, mentors, nonprofit organizations, and males to really take this day off so they can go in and walk their children to the first day of school. Now, again, it's not a cosmetic march. We really want to increase the functionality throughout the school year. So we don't want our kids just getting A's first report card marking, but we need people to make that commitment and create that accountability so we get A's on the very last day of school as well.
Why are you focusing on males?
Well, we do understand that for so long, even throughout history, in times of need such as this, when you activate the males and get them actively involved in the children's lives, you change the dynamics. You can offset a lot of the behavioral issues that sometimes coincide with some of the failure in society. So that's why we truly had to, coin the phrase, the Million Father March, and it takes a city to raise our children.
It's very interesting because in many cases you see images of specifically African-American males that are not so positive. The impression being that they don't take care of their children, they don't care for their community. This, in effect, it seems to me, might go a little ways to change that image.
Of course. And again, we're not a cosmetic organization, so oftentimes we are really rolling our sleeves up and really working, having this dialogue so we can come to some enlightened perspective of not only how to better connect our city's children to resources, but how do we all get involved. So again, I believe that accountability and that call to action is extremely necessary, even with the times that we're in now. Oftentimes, you see a lot of people that's running for office right now. And my question to some of the people that's running for office is, it's clear that everyone won't make it to office. What are you going to do actively to create change inside of the things that you desire to do? You have a lot of cosmetic things that's going on right now, which kind of piques my interest to how we play into the whole egotistical and territorial issues. With Mr. Scott, we're clear that those things, egotistical and territorial issues, have stopped us from growing.
We have a very short window, so tell us maybe 3 of the major programs that you're involved in.
Okay, well, one is FAME, which speaks to fashion, art, music, and education. To reach a child is the better way to teach a child. We also have GLOW, which speaks to female mentoring, and it's an acronym for Girls Lean On Women. Lastly, we're doing the National Black Teen Empowerment Expo out in New York. Really getting a lot of our stakeholders across the world to really sit back and really come to that conclusion on how to bring resources, even from a national level, back home.
Now, obviously, creating this movement, it doesn't depend on Harlan Bivins or your co-founders, but this is something I would assume you'd like to institutionalize, like to carry on long after you're doing something else.
Yes, the objective is by 2010 to be in Atlanta, starting a great Atlanta youth movement. Also, at the end of this year, 2009, we'll be starting the Great New York Youth Movement. And the objective is to really start these coalitions and move the cities from fragmentation to consolidation to coalition, so we can actually move and garner support and create a strong base.
Right, so we're not just talking about the culture of, how can I put it, negativity and destruction. You're talking about uplifting things.
Of course. Also, cutting down on some of the ageisms or the divides in between the age. Oftentimes when we're out, we see the youth, they have one idea. You have these block clubs sitting up, creating all these different meetings, and there's a school right across from them, and they meet to meet. Mm-hmm. We're not that type of organization. We're solution providers.
One of my people has been speaking to Harlan Bivins. He's one of the co-founders of the Better Detroit Youth Movement, and they're doing just that. They're out there, as he says, rolling up their sleeves. And if you'd like to reach him, he's given you his information, but you can also link with us on projectbait.blackgold.net, projectbait.blackgold.net.
Customer receipts, payroll, inventory, mailing label, tax reports. I've got computers, but my business still isn't organized. What can I do? You need the Office Assistant billing and bookkeeping software. Bring your business into the 21st century. Call Electronic Services 313-341-1821. That's 313-341-1821.